I'm going to introduce both Megan and Jen at the same time and give you their backgrounds. And then they will come up. Megan's going to come first and then Jen. So Megan Russell graduated cum laude from Brooks in 2003. She played on the varsity soccer, basketball, and crew teams all 4 years. And she was captain of the varsity basketball and crew teams. Sophomore year, Megan went with the top 8 girls on the crew team to England to row in the prestigious Henley Royal Regatta. She was part of several ISL championship teams, including senior year when her soccer team went 17-0. No ties either. Winning the Class A championship and the Frank D. Ashburn Athletic Award. At graduation, Megan won the Carrie Ann Cater Prize for her warmth and generosity of spirit toward others and her outstanding contributions to Brooks Athletics. She was also selected to deliver one of the graduation lawn ceremony addresses. Following Brooks, Megan went on to row at Holy Cross on their first boat, and it's a D1 program, and she did that all 4 years, and she was captain, once again, in her senior year. She majored in history, and after graduation, joined Teach for America, where she taught 7th and 8th grade students English and social studies in inner city Philadelphia for 2 years. She's now an account executive at FactSet, a financial services firm in Boston. Jen graduated from Brooks in 2006. She played varsity soccer, basketball, and lacrosse all 4 years and was a tri-captain her senior year. She was an all-ISL player for 3 consecutive years in 3, is that right? 3 sports. It's impressive. Even now saying it loud, it's even more impressive. And was a part of winning 6 ISL titles, including a Class A soccer championship. While at Brooks, Jen was twice named first-team All-American in lacrosse and played in the first ever Under Armour All-American game and won the athletic prize at graduation. Following Brooks, Jen played Division I lacrosse at University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill. She was a 4-year starter and a senior captain. At Carolina, Jen was a 2-time first-team All-American and 2-time All-ACC player. Her senior year, she was named one of the top finalists for not 1, but 2 awards, and these are the most prestigious awards in collegiate lacrosse. And they are awarded to the best players in Division I. Her team made 2 Final Four appearances, including advancing to the national championship game in her junior year. Jen has been a member of the U.S. lacrosse team since her sophomore year of college and was most recently named one of the final 18 who will represent the United States in the 2013 World Cup. It's impressive, right? You guys listening? Okay, good. Don't just listen to me, you're going to listen to them very carefully. In addition to training for the upcoming World Cup, she works as a frontline fundraiser for the Dana-Farber Cancer Institute and the Jimmy Fund. With all of that said, please join me in welcoming Megan and Jen.
Thank you very much for the introduction. Hi, everyone. As Mr. Flanagan mentioned, my name is Megan, and this is my sister, Jen. We first want to thank the Brooks community for inviting us to speak at Chapel today. We both loved our experiences at Brooks and are honored and excited to be back. Today, as we celebrate female athletics, Jen and I want to share some stories highlighting how sports at Brooks impacted and shaped our lives. Through our experiences, we learned the importance of teamwork, a strong work ethic, and leadership, invaluable skills that have, over time, transcended our positions on the athletic field and moved into our personal and professional lives. At Brooks, I was fortunate to encounter and learn from some of the most intelligent, caring, and driven people. Our teams won championships because of the precedent set by coaches, leadership exhibited by my teammates, and the camaraderie I felt across each sport. Freshman year, I walked into my first crew practice not knowing what to expect. Never having won a championship, Mrs. Morris set the tone right from the start. We're going to push ourselves to the limit, work together, row smart, and we're going to win. That season, I saw firsthand what it meant to be a true leader. The seniors sat next to us on the erg until we finished our pieces. They took us to the weight room and lifted with us. They stayed after practice, designing additional captain's practices to ensure everyone's success. We won the New England title. As Vince Lombardi said, the strength of the group is the strength of the leaders. Since then, whether in college as the captain of Holy Cross's Division I crew team, or in the financial world as the leader of a team of people managing relationships with large investment firms around the world, I strive to strengthen my team by working harder and leading by example. Early on, Brooks taught me to lead, and also what it truly means to be part of a team. Freshman year, I was a varsity starter in all my sports. My concept of team, however, changed in a single moment while playing basketball when, with a quick shift in direction, my leg and knee went different ways and I heard a pop. I was suddenly on the floor, my knee swelling instantly. I figured I just tugged something and would be back on the court in a day. After several visits to the doctor and an MRI later, I learned I was very wrong. Torn ACL and meniscus. Surgery was unavoidable. For the next year, I wasn't one of the starters. I was cheering, motivating, and working towards the ultimate team goal, a championship, while sitting on the bench. One of the most memorable moments of this time was during the last home soccer game. A few minutes left in the game, Coach turned to the bench and called my name to go in. I was sure I misheard him. I was on the injured list and wasn't going to be playing sports again for another 6 months. He called my name again, this time a few other girls joining in. I slowly, very slowly, jogged onto the field. I looked pretty foolish. I had on sneakers, white shin guards, blue spandex pants, green shorts, a sweatshirt under my uniform, and a black brace on my left leg. Coach's instructions: Megan, do not touch the ball. In fact, move away every time it comes near you. Even though my foot never touched the ball that day, it was the best minute of soccer I ever played. I was so moved that Coach and the team cared enough about me as a player and a teammate to put me in the game. They embodied what it meant to be part of a team, a lesson I reflect upon and work to exemplify in all aspects of my life. That year, I also learned the meaning of working relentlessly towards a goal. This goal was a successful recovery. I made a conscious decision to look forward. Surgery was something to overcome, not something to set me back. With the encouragement of all Brooks faculty, I made my way to the weight room every day, placed my crutches in the corner, and set to work. After working out, I hobbled over to the field or court, watched the entire practice, and cheered for my team. I was determined to gain my starting position senior year, to gain back my starting position senior year. With hard work and commitment, I started as one of the defenders in the 2002 soccer season. This season was one that I would never forget. Not only was I fully recovered, but I was playing next to my best friend and sister Jen for the first time, and was able to contribute to the first 17-0-0 season in Brooks history. It wasn't until the semifinals in the snow, in front of the entire Brooks community, that I slide tackled one of my opponents and tore my ACL and meniscus again. After a short pause of reflection over the new obstacle that awaited me, I forged forward and set back to work, determined to overcome any challenge I faced. As I learned throughout my experiences at Brooks, a true athlete does not only possess physical strength, but strength of mind and spirit. It's the athlete's character and commitment to self and to a team that makes a complete athlete, the ultimate champion. My sister and I both went to Brooks, both went on to excellent academic and athletic colleges, and both have successful jobs in the professional world. She, however, had a whole different set of experiences that ultimately taught her the value of leadership, teamwork, and hard work.
I would like to reiterate my sister's sentiments by thanking Brooks for this opportunity. Brooks will always be a very special place to me. It is truly an honor to be here. I'm immensely grateful for my experience at Brooks because this school and many of these people have had a lasting impact on who I am today. Brooks' small and nurturing environment was conducive to personal growth, and it made me feel comfortable and confident to try new things, set high goals for myself both academically and athletically. A significant part of my experience at Brooks was athletics. It was here that through sport, I began to learn invaluable lessons and skills, which over time have been ingrained in me. A few of the most important and noteworthy of these lessons are strong work ethic, leadership, and teamwork. Prior to Brooks, I was focused on soccer and basketball. However, because of the culture of Brooks, I felt comfortable stepping outside of my comfort zone, and in the process, I discovered one of my true loves, lacrosse. I entered my freshman year here at Brooks needing a spring sport. Needless to say, I lacked confidence in my lacrosse abilities. I could barely catch the ball, and so learning to play the sport seemed a bit out of reach. However, the lacrosse team and coaches my freshman year gave me the confidence to feel comfortable trying something new, which as I'm sure many of you can attest to, is not a small feat. During preseason my freshman year, we went to the Wide World of Sports in Orlando, Florida. To this day, I still remember everything about that first practice. I was so nervous, and rightfully so, because as I said before, I literally could not catch the ball. I used to dread partner passing and would cross my fingers that we would just play a game so I could blend in the crowd. I remember one of the senior captains that year came over to me during practice and put her arm around me and was like, "Jen, just play defense like you do in basketball. You'll figure the rest out as you go." While I still remember that fear I felt during my first couple practices, my strong work ethic took over, and I ended my collegiate career a two-time first-team All-American and top 5 finalist for the Tworton Award, which is given to the best lacrosse player in Division I. Coincidentally, it was only just a few months ago that I stood on that very same field in Orlando, Florida at the Wide World of Sports, playing in my final tryout game before the World Cup selection. Instead, this time, I stood hand in hand with my teammates as the national anthem played in the background, and yet I still had that very same knot in my stomach that I had that first practice at Brooks. And I stand before you today, 10 years from that first practice, preparing to compete with the U.S. national team in the 2013 World Cup. In reflecting on my athletic career, I'm filled with immense sense of gratitude and pride when I think about the extraordinary teams that I've been a part of. The first being my freshman year soccer team here at Brooks. We went 17-0-0 that year and won the Class A championship. To me, as a 15-year-old kid still finding my way in life and in sports, winning that championship was not the most important thing. Above all else, what made that season so special was that it was the first time I witnessed true leadership. That team, and specifically those seniors, one of whom was my sister Megan, set an example for me that I will never forget, that I will always strive to achieve, and one that I think embodies what Brooks School is all about. They treated me as their equal, as a valued member of their team, and most importantly, as a friend. And yet, in the midst of all that, they managed to set a precedence of excellence on the field. I immediately entered an environment that I believe shaped who I am today. And throughout my athletic career at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and eventually with the U.S. national team, I strive to reach the same level of leadership that I believe was exemplified during that season. These lessons will continue to have a huge impact on the decisions that I make in my life and in sports. That was only one example of many that I could share with you. Throughout my 4 years, I was fortunate to have been coached by some of the best and play alongside some pretty incredible athletes throughout my time here, several of whom went on to compete collegiately in their respective sports. As I continue to grow and progress in my athletic career, I have become more fully aware of the fine line which differentiates success and failure, and especially from being good from being great. The teams that I played on at Brooks were successful because of the strong leadership of our coaches, who did not only care about winning, but were invested in the future of their student athletes. This leadership facilitated a focus on teamwork and the value and strength that lies in a collective effort. As many of my teammates on the national team can attest to, as you get older and reach a certain level, everyone is good. But I know that unlike many others, I was privy to a unique high school experience. At Brooks, I learned how to be a leader, how to be a teammate, and the value that lies in both of those skills. They are the cornerstone of most careers and the thing that distinguishes a team from being good from a team from being great. Throughout my athletic career, one of the most valuable lessons I learned is summed up best by the women's soccer coach at UNC, Anson Dorrance, who said, "One of the wonderful life lessons of athletics is that success itself should not be the ultimate reward, because there are a lot of people who work incredibly hard and never, quote unquote, make it. What is important above all else is being in the arena." Thank you once again for your time.